What if the apartment you're staying in comes with a story you never expected? A story about family, craftsmanship, fashion, a secret warehouse, and perhaps a little bit of inherited Milanese good taste. Welcome to the Townhomes Milano podcast. Townhomes Milano provides furnished boutique apartments close to Milano Centrale. We offer flexible short and mid-term stays for travelers who want a local experience in Milan. Our spaces feel like home and are ready for you to move in. We keep things simple, warm, and welcoming. Today, we're here to share the stories behind our homes, our family, and what it really means to live in Milan, not just visit it. I'm Nina, and today I want to take you somewhere very special. Via Razza 8, just 2 minutes from Repubblica Metro and around 10 minutes from Milano Centrale. Today, it's home to 4 beautiful Milan apartments. But before it became that, it was a family business, a warehouse, and for more than a decade, a very well-kept secret. So let's start at the beginning. A family business built on pots and pans. Before it was anything else, this was a family business, Alberghiera Medagliani, going all the way back to 1860. For years, chefs and cooking enthusiasts made something close to a pilgrimage here from all over the world. Not for a restaurant, but for professional-grade cookware. Handmade copper pots. Rare tools you couldn't find anywhere else. The stampo per garganelli for hand-rolled pasta. Carved wooden stamps used to press corsetti. These were the kinds of things that weren't being made everywhere anymore, and the customers who came looking for them usually knew exactly what they wanted. That's the part of our history we've always been happy to tell. But there's another part we couldn't tell until now. The warehouse that had to keep a secret. When the business outgrew the space, we moved to a larger warehouse just outside Milan. And our old warehouse at Via Razza 8 became something quite different. For 12 years, we couldn't say exactly what was happening inside. Honestly, it was a little thrilling. Keeping a secret that good makes you feel very important at dinner parties, even when you can't actually tell anyone anything. The tenant who took over our 235 square meters of storage space dealt in silk scarves, leather handbags, and trunks of a kind you don't see outside a handful of shopfronts around the world. Given what they were storing, discretion wasn't just a courtesy. It was a condition. So, for more than a decade, we simply didn't talk about it. Their lease ended last summer, and they've since moved to an even larger space outside Milan. And a year later, I think it's finally fair to tell you. Our warehouse quietly furnished Hermès's shop in Milan's Quadrilatero della Moda, the city's famous fashion district. The crate I still think about. What stayed with me wasn't actually the scarves or the handbags. It was the packaging. There were these beautiful wooden crates, branded and carefully made to protect the large leather trunks during transport. I actually asked, only half joking, if I could keep one when they moved out. They said no. I still think about that crate sometimes. And perhaps this is where the story gets a little less factual and a little more sentimental. Call it feng shui. Call it a very Italian belief that good taste leaves a residue behind. 12 years of quiet, extremely well-dressed luxury has to leave something in a building. Nothing we can prove. Nothing scientific. No crystals were harmed in the making of this theory. But if walls remember anything, ours have excellent taste stored up. And we like to think a little of it rubs off on whoever moves in next. Consider it a complimentary blessing. 4 apartments, 4 members of our family. Today, that same address has a completely different life. We transformed the old warehouse into 4 apartments. And each one was designed by a different member of our family. Each apartment has its own personality because each of us has a very different idea of what makes a place feel like home. And if the warehouse years taught us anything, it's that the care you put into a space, even the things nobody else notices, really matters. That's what we wanted to carry forward. Apartment Andreas. Let's start with Andreas, our son. He has always loved clean lines and honest materials, and you can see that immediately in his apartment. It's industrial chic, with exposed textures, a calm and grounded palette, and a one-bedroom layout designed for couples or small families settling into Milan. Spend 5 minutes there, and you'll probably understand Andreas. Everything is calm, practical, and unfussy. His personality is in the details. Apartment Sara. Then there's Sara, our daughter, who also designed our entire visual identity. She brought her art director's eye to her apartment and created something very different. It's Mediterranean-inspired, sunny, warm, and just a little indulgent. We'll admit that some of her choices were a little more luxurious than we had originally budgeted for. But we gave in. Because unfortunately for the budget, her taste was simply better than our objections. Some things you inherit. Good taste, apparently, is something you just lose an argument over. Apartment Nina. And then there's mine. I'm Nina, and I leaned into my Nordic roots. My apartment is a compact, carefully designed studio with clean lines, natural materials, and nothing that doesn't earn its place. I love what Scandinavian minimalism can do to a space. It can make everything feel calmer, and I hope our guests feel that the moment they walk through the door. Apartment Simone. And finally there's Simone. Born and raised in Milan, Simone designed our largest apartment with the instincts of someone who knows this city from the inside. Natural materials meet real urban living here. It's a 2-bedroom apartment that works well for families, students, or colleagues relocating together. And Simone's personality comes through too. He's easygoing and happy, but there's a refined Milanese edge underneath it. 1 building, 4 personalities. So 4 people, 4 very different instincts. And 1 building that somehow manages to hold all of them at once. We like to think that's not so different from what the warehouse years were about. Getting the details right. Even the ones only you notice. And maybe absorbing a little good energy along the way. What it's like to stay here. Now let's get practical for a moment. Via Razza 8 sits on a quiet, no-through road, just 2 minutes from Repubblica Metro and about a 10-minute walk from Milano Centrale. Each apartment is fully furnished and comes with fiber-optic Wi-Fi, air conditioning, a washing machine, and everything you need, right down to the cutlery. All utilities are included except electricity, which is billed transparently based on actual consumption. Stays range from 1 to 18 months, with rates starting from €1,050 per month. Contracts and deposits are handled by our partners at Kusani, 10 Luxury Real Estate. And if 4 apartments aren't quite enough Milan for you, there's more coming. Our original 3 apartments at Via Ponte Seveso, currently available for short stays, will also be joining our midterm collection from January 2027. Same city, same care, twice the front doors. A little more Milan. We can't offer you Hermès trunks, but we can promise you a building and a family that has been sweating the small details since 1860. And if you're the kind of person who believes in these things, perhaps our apartments come with a little inherited good luck too. If you're considering staying near the station, our guide to accommodation near Milano Centrale can also help you understand what the area has to offer. And if you're still deciding where to stay in Milan, our neighborhood guide explores the different parts of the city and what each one is best suited for. Because Milan rewards you for picking the right base. Wherever you stay, you're never more than a short metro ride from somewhere else worth seeing. So don't overthink it. But do pick on purpose. And if you want my honest, slightly biased opinion, my husband's family eventually ended up on Via Ponte Seveso, right by Centrale. That's where our own apartments are today. Which either means we're extremely consistent people, or we just really like that end of town. Possibly both. Outro. And that brings us to the end of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed getting to know the story behind Via Razza 8, not just as a place to stay, but as a building that has been part of our family story for generations. From copper pots and handmade pasta tools, to a secret fashion warehouse, to 4 apartments designed by 4 members of one family. It's been quite a journey. If you enjoyed this episode, share it with someone planning a trip to Milan. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the Townhomes Milano podcast so you don't miss our next story. And if you're planning a longer stay in Milan and looking for a place that feels more like a home than a hotel, visit townhomesmilano.com to explore our midterm living apartments. You can also take a look at Apartment Nina, Apartment Sara, Apartment Andreas, and Apartment Simone, and see which one feels most like you. Thank you for listening. Until next time, from Milan. Ciao, and see you soon.